Welcome from Stanley Park in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. We're talking about segmentation still, and we're now at a point in the journey where we can start thinking about all the information that we've gathered strategically. Um, and this is where different factors come into play, right? Your maturity level will really affect the type of visitors you can attract and how competitive you are. Maybe the quality is not always there. Maybe your infrastructure has some gaps, like transportation, or maybe the variety of experiences, customer service, things like that. So in that case, you need to appeal to someone who doesn't really mind if that maturity level is not quite there. Maybe you offer something that is, so appealing, for a particular motivation or purpose, that they'll just take that for granted. Or maybe it's like maybe not being mature is an asset unto itself. Your base reputation matters because this will affect how easy it is to convince someone to come and meet a specific motivation or purpose, right? Because you're already known as a tourism destination, and maybe it's just something that people weren't aware of, something very specific, or and think about you as a place where they could meet that specific purpose. So these things really, really matter. And the next one, of course, are your marketing objectives, short-term and long-term. This affects which segments are the right ones. Some segments you could be really, really appealing to, but they fly in the face of meeting your objectives, and particularly outside of the economics. So when it comes to your residents, impact on residents, quality of life, the local environment, or climate change, things like that. So sometimes you need to transition from one segment to another. Maybe there is like a bread and butter segment that you just can't walk away from. But over time, you want to transition to a visitor that is more aligned with your long-term goals. So those are all considerations that you need to look at when it comes to analyzing each of the potential segments that you've identified. So you need to learn as much as you can about them, like a baseline. How important are they right now? How competitive are you? What's the market size for some of these segments? How do you differentiate? Things like that. And this is, of course, where research and data can be really, really valuable, but it's not always there. That's okay. You can talk to some of your operators in industry. You can have some anecdotal evidence. Just keep in mind when something is anecdotal. And the last point here is that you don't have to put, all your eggs in one basket. You don't have to, pick one and go for it. Sometimes, looking at a few opportunities and do some tests can be really, really valuable to learn things about these segments. So you carve out a little bit of your marketing budget and you see, what the pickup is. I'm going to do one more after this, and that is just give you some examples of past projects that I've worked on where we applied all of these things for particular destinations. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, give me a follow, and I'll see you soon.